wasn't my idea to walk onto AC/DC, by the way, but I wish it was, because that's great. So yeah, hello everyone, welcome. Yeah, of course, my name is Mike. I'm the Sony Europe product manager for personal entertainment, so products like headphones and speakers and some gaming products as well. I know a lot of you, so hi everyone. I'm looking forward to speaking to you all as the day goes on. Some of you I don't know, so hello. Today should be really great. I mean, Steph sort of touched on it. We've got a lot of stuff to tell you about this product. I've also got another little other product to tell you about as well, actually, to be honest. But then there's one main product, so I'm looking forward to getting onto all of that kind of detail. Now, I think you should know what we're talking about today. If you haven't figured it out, you've not been paying attention. But we, over the last few years, have launched a number of really well-received, higher-end noise-cancelling earbuds. So the WF-1000X launching in 2017, all the way to most recently the WF-1000X Mark V launching just in 2023. So, needless to say, we have come here to see the next model. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the WF-1000X Mark VI. The name probably should surprise none. The Mark VI. So, there is a lot to tell you about in this product. So I will take a bit of time to go through some of these features with you. And as you already know, we will go through the session in more detail as the day progresses. But first of all, why are we so excited? Because genuinely, this is a really exciting pair of earbuds. And I'd like to just quickly explain why, and then we'll get into some detail. These have the best noise cancelling. Let's say that. The best noise cancelling earbuds. They also have next level sound quality for a whole host of different reasons. They're really, really impressive model. I mean, I know that many of you will know the Mark V, so actually, I think one of the quick ways to get into why we're so excited is to just quickly say what some of the key, not all by any means, but some of the key improvements are versus the previous model. So, the Mark VI has, I've mentioned already, the best noise cancelling. The Mark VI also has Sony's best ever call quality from true wireless models. We have got a huge step up in sound quality, and there are so many reasons why. We'll really get into that very, very shortly. We also have improved fit and comfort, so not just about being more stable in the ears, but also just more comfortable to wear. And even enhanced connectivity with a larger antenna inside makes it more stable. And for a premium product like this, it makes a real difference, I think. We'll get into it. But what I think I'll do first is just play a short video to give you an overview of the WF-1000X Mark VI. So have a look and see what you think.
Our
pretty much summed it up, so you can probably all just go home now. You know about the products, but let's get into some more detail. There's so much I want to tell you about this product. So the way that we're going to do it is we're going to focus on some of the key areas. I've already mentioned noise cancelling as being a really exciting element of this, so that's where we're going to start. Let's have a look at noise cancelling, why we're so confidently saying this is the best noise cancelling earbuds available. So, noise cancellation. Let's start by quickly looking at the Mark V. So this is the Mark V you're looking at the screen, the previous model. Still, I think, widely known as being one of, if not the best, noise-cancelling earbuds out there still. So let me just explain why there's a big improvement. Well, as you can see with the Mark V, the QN2E was the processor, the 6 microphones built in, the driver, auto NC optimizer. Actually, with the Mark VI, we are introducing a brand new processor, the QN3E processor. We have 8 microphones, 2 more than the previous model. We've got a brand new, unique driver officially created for this model. We have new software as well, and let me go into these in a bit more detail and explain to you more clearly. Let's start with the processor. So the HD noise cancelling processor QN3 is actually what controls the microphones. And as I mentioned, there are now 8 microphones, 4 in each earbud, so 2 more than in the previous model, that helps to accurately capture the ambient sound, the unwanted noise, if you like, and create that anti-noise, and therefore create the noise-cancelling effect. Really, really cool. But also from a software point of view, we now have adaptive NC optimizer. What is that? Well, that means that as soon as you put these earbuds in, it will adapt the noise-cancelling algorithm to the shape of your ear, to the way you're wearing, your wearing conditions, if you like. And in reality, what that simply means is just by putting them on, it will do a calculation and make sure you get the best possible noise-cancelling experience. Ambient sound is a significant step up on the previous model. It's really, really cool, super easy to hear. But not only is general ambient sound improved, which is, of course, as many of you will know, you can access just by tapping on the earbuds, we also have introduced the auto ambient sound mode, which is another option, which basically means that depending on the amount of noise around you, you can adjust the amount of sound that is let in. So maybe you're in a quiet environment, you're wandering through a field and you want to hear the birds singing. Well, it's very quiet and you can have it open so you can hear everything around you. But maybe you walk then to a main road and there's lots of traffic noise. What it will do is it will adjust the ambient sound to block out some of that other noise, but still letting you hear things that matter, like voices and things like that, or notifications if you're at a train station, something like that. It's very, very cool. Now, sound quality, I think for me, is the area that I get most excited about when we introduce new headphones, and I know that's the case for many of you people here, having had conversations with many of you. I know this is a super important bit, and there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say. But let me just start with a really, really cool point. Now, on the Mark VI, for the first time ever in truly wireless headphones, so in earbuds, for the first time ever, we have worked with some Grammy award-winning mastering engineers to tune this model to make sure we get the best possible sound quality. Now, I know some of you will be familiar with the headbands, the WH-1000XM6, that you may recognize that actually we also worked with these industry-leading experts for that model as well. So it's really, really exciting. There's several people that we have worked with. We have Randy Merrill, for example, from Sterling Sound. I won't read out everything on the slides here because there's a lot of words, but just to point out some of the artists that these gentlemen have worked with, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Adele, some really huge, huge names. We have Chris Geringer from Sterling Sound, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Glass Animals. There's loads and loads of artists there. Again, you'd recognise Mike Piersantini, who some of you may have met in the last event that we did, working with artists such as Bob Dylan, Depeche Mode, Johnny Mathis, James Brown, etc. And really excited to say also Michael Romanowski. And now Michael has worked with artists such as Alicia Keys, who worked with Prince, Bonnie Raitt. I particularly got excited when I saw the Star Wars soundtrack, not going to lie, that was something that I thought was particularly cool. But Michael, a 5-time Grammy Award winner, has actually come here as well today. So he based out in the US, he's come here and we're going to speak to him a little bit later. Really looking forward to you getting to meet him, have a little chat, and I'd like you to load up some questions for later on as well. But we'll come to that in a little bit. So, aside from that, how have we made the sound better? Let's again look at the Mark V to do this, because the Mark V was, again, still known, and still is known as one of the best sounding earbuds out there. So how have we improved on it? Well, with the WF-1000XM6, we are utilising the HD noise cancelling processor QN3E for sound quality, and we have a brand new updated driver. So the processors, please bear in mind this, I'm mentioning one at the moment, but there are two processors in this model. So the QN3E processor, this is the new model that's integrated, improves the signal to noise ratio with enhanced DAC performance, providing this nice, rich, really beautiful sound, but it actually also works with the V2 processor, integrated processor V2, which is a nice improvement on the previous models, which were 24-bit processing, now handling 32-bit processing. Combination of technologies such as these and some of the other things we'll talk about is really the secret to the sound quality. Now, the driver. This is a uniquely developed driver, specially developed for this model. So it is an 8.4mm driver unit, a soft edge for being able to reproduce these accurate and deep low frequencies, and a hard center to be able to get this incredibly detailed higher frequencies. Really, really nicely designed driver unit specific for this model. But also in terms of software, we understand that everyone might want to hear the sound a little bit different. So what we've got is a 10-band EQ. So the previous model had a 5-band EQ with a clear bass adjustment as well. Now we have a 5-band EQ. Not only that, we have a number of presets, of course, and a feature called Find Your Equalizer, which is for the people who are maybe not so familiar with sliders or not interested in doing it and want to just use their ears. We'll go into this more later in the session, but it's quite a cool feature if you've not tried it already. There are, of course, on this model, it is a high-res audio wireless certified model. Using LDAC, you can stream incredibly high quality. Let's say maybe you're subscribing to one of these lossless or very high quality music services. When you have something like this that can stream at a much, much higher rate than regular SBC Bluetooth codecs, you can really start to hear the difference in these higher quality services. Really, really nice. Now, if you don't, maybe you're just using traditional services with compressed music on it, well, that's when we've got DSEE Extreme, which takes compressed music and it enhances it. It rebuilds it so it can sound closer to true high-res audio quality from an upscaler. Again, all of these optional, and you can switch them on and off via the Sony Connect app. There's a few other things to tell you about as well, some smaller features. So this is the first time in these earbuds where we have a gaming EQ. So you switch to the preset via the app, and it's perfect for gaming, so better for hearing the footsteps and the detail that you need to get ahead in games. We also have a really cool feature. Hopefully some of you may have tried this on a previous model that we've got. It's loads of fun. And again, today's a good opportunity for you all to try it. Background music effect. This is when it pushes the music away from your head. You know, when you're wearing headphones, the music seems to happen centrally. It's all in here. Background music effect does this brilliant job of pushing it to the side of the room. Why would you do that? I mean, I'll let you all test it and decide for when you would want to use it. I can speak from my own personal experience. For me, I can't focus if I'm trying to work or something and I'm listening to music, and then, especially if there's lyrics, I just can't focus on the two things. Background music effect pushes it to the side of the room like it's a stereo on in the background, and suddenly I can focus and I can do it. So for me, that is when I would use it. Maybe that's not why you'll use it, but please try it because it's really, really cool. Now, we also, of course, as you saw in the video, we have 360 reality audio support for this really great immersive experience, also with head tracking to add that extra realism for this immersive experience. Okay, I mentioned at the top Sony's best ever call quality from truly wireless headphones. It's a bold claim, so how can we say that? Well, there's lots of different technologies, and we'll go through them why, from AI technology to bone conduction, etc., that make the call quality better. And I'll go through one at a time. So let me start with the AI technology. So what's that all about? Well, it means that it's able to understand what is the background noise and what therefore you don't want, and it's able to scoop it out and remove it. The AI technology is there to understand what is your voice. But that also works with the beamforming mics and the bone conduction sensors, which are both designed to pick out your voice specifically. What is the speaker's voice? What is the background noise? When we understand that, we have the technology to remove what we don't want and leave what we do want. And it means you can have really great call quality even when the environment is a bit more noisy. Other technologies as well, wind noise reduction is really important. It's a great structure. It just means you can use all of these technologies, including noise cancelling, by the way, effectively when the wind is blowing, and you don't have to just turn the mics off. You can keep them on and protect yourself from the wind. We actually have a mic mute function on this, which is really cool. If you're maybe you're doing a call or a team meeting or something like that, and you can sit back, you can mute directly from your earbuds without having to mute on your PC or something like that. It's just a nice little feature. It plays a little soft tone in the background to remind you you're muted every now and then. Switch it on and off via the app. It's just a really convenient feature to have. And we have clearer sound through super wideband technology. This is when you use LE audio, so you need the LE audio device. Compatible devices will mean you'll be able to get a really beautifully clear voice than you would be able to get with a regular technology. Okay, design. So there's, again, lots to talk about here, and you'll have a look at it soon and you'll have a feel, but let me give you a bit of a clue. So from a design perspective, there's improvements in terms of the ergonomic feel in your ears, the stability, the comfort, as well as introduce something called a ventilation structure, and the earbud tips, of course, designed for comfort, but also for improved noise cancelling. I'll go into these in more detail in a second. But also the design, of course, is about the aesthetics. It looks really iconic. There's a really nice new look and feel to it, and two different colour options. So comfort, first of all. As you can see, the width of it has been reduced, so actually it fits very nicely in this ergonomic way into the ear, keeps it very stable, very, very comfortable, and I think hopefully you'll agree it looks really cool as well. I mentioned ventilation structure. What is that? Well, the word would be occlusion. So if you've heard the word occlusion before, I'm talking about the internal sounds that you get sometimes when you're wearing earbuds. Maybe you're chewing and you can almost hear the inside working, this unpleasant noise going. Maybe also heavy footsteps. Sometimes you get that whoo, whoo, whoo sound. That's occlusion. Now, the ventilation structure is a new structure inside the headphones to help reduce that. It therefore makes it a more comfortable listening experience. Overall, a big improvement on previous models. We also, listening to feedback, very important feedback, we had a lot of people say they really liked the design of the Mark V, but they just dropped them. As soon as they came out of the case, they slipped out of their fingers. I can see several nods as I look around the room, so obviously some people have had that. I'm happy to say we took on that a suggestion that the design is massively improved in that sense, really easy to pick up, really, you won't be dropping them like you may have. Now, we've also got we've got improved wearing checks within the app. And this is, what do I mean wearing checks? I mean, when you put these on, you can pretty much tell when they're nice and stable, but to get the perfect fit, to get them really nice and snug, and what I say is, without having a break in the seal, you want a nice firm fit with it, we have got some checks in the app to make sure that you're wearing them properly, and to make sure that you're going to get, therefore, the best noise cancelling and the best sound quality. It's not just about stability, that's my point. It's not just stability and comfort. That is important, of course. But if you have the perfect fit, you get the perfect noise cancelling experience. It's really cool. We'll have a look at it later on and go through that with you. A few other things to mention. Now, I sort of touched on it right at the beginning, but there is a larger antenna in the Mark VI than before. It's actually 1.5 times larger than the antenna in the Mark V. And what does that mean? It means that we can be in a busy environment. We can, when there's all sorts of signals going on, busy streets, etc., and it's going to be more stable than before. I think it's really important on a nice premium product like this to have this rock solid stability. We also have access to an AI assistant wherever you go. It's really nice. It means that you can access the AI assistant just by tapping, or if even more conveniently, you can just say the hot word. You can launch it without taking your phone out of your pocket and be able to converse with your AI assistant. So it's just really, really nice, convenient feature to have as well. So the battery life is very good on this model. It is 8 hours battery from a single charge. But when you use the case, you can get up to 24 hours. We also have quick charge, so it's a 5-minute charge, gives you 1 hour playback. And as you've seen in the video, and you can see from the picture here, wireless charging for extra convenience. I'm also happy to say we have battery care on this model as well. So battery care just means that when you switch this feature on, it means that you can maintain the lifespan of your battery for a long time to come with less chance of degradation. Now, Sound Connect app, you'll see a fair bit of this today. Hopefully, many of you have, well, hopefully you've all downloaded it. I think so. If you haven't, just come and speak to us. We'll speak to you about how to get that down. But yeah, this is a really great app. It's been updated not too long ago. There's loads of things you can do with it. We'll go through some of that with you today. But of course, that is how you use this product. Now, that's a quick run through on what is a huge amount of features this product has. I haven't touched on everything. You can see a few more in this image here, but this will be a bit of an overview of the WF-1000XM6 and what makes it so special. We will get into this more, but before we do, let me just remind you of the pricing. So this product, €300, £250 we would expect it to be, available in February. Black and platinum silver are the two different colors. Now, before we move on, I'm just going to quickly also mention another model, which is the other one to tell you about, which is actually the WH-1000XM6, which we launched a few months ago. We can introduce a brand new color, and that color is, drum roll, the sand pink. So the WH-1000XM6 will now come in a nice pink color. Some of you may remember that the Mark V, we actually introduced the smoky pink a little while ago. Really hugely popular, loads of really great praise on that. The Mark VI sand pink is a bit more pink. It's a little bit more pink. Yeah, it's a slightly different colour, a little bit warmer. It's really nice. We do have it here. So later on, obviously, main focus today, we want to show you the WF-1000XM6, but we'd love you to see this model as well and have a look and see what you think. Now the sand pink will join the lineup, so again it will launch at the same time as the WF-1000XM6, and which will be in February, as you remember from the NDA, and we expect it to be €450, £400 as a retail price. Now, that's the full range, the full lineup. So that's the little extra product I wanted to tell you about.